This is a cliche question, but because you man are here, I like to ask everyone this. Man, like this question. How did you two meet?
Cool.
Would you like to say this glorious story?
So I've known Joshua since like 15, 16.
Really?
Yeah, so we met through basketball. Actually, we play for the same club called RDF,
What's the RDF stand for?
Right Development Foundation.
Were you man bad kids or something?
Not even, not even. Well, the coach used to be one.
Okay.
I feel like it was his way of.
Oh, right. Okay. Giving back kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, we played up until under
18s,
yeah, under 18s. And then he moved houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
We're from East London.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
I'm from Dagenham.
Okay.
Romford.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair. So you man met through basketball,
Yeah.
Literally.
and it was like, what, a match made in heaven type of thing.
Of course, man.
Something like that.
Dynamic duo.
Something like that. Literally.
That's what they call the bromance.
100%.
Okay. And then you moved out, and then what? But was you man the way you are now? I'm assuming you lot are day ones,
I mean, to be
or are you
fair,
just friends, or
Nah, it's kind of been like that. Like,
so you man are like you man are tight, like
I'd say so,
thick as
yeah.
thieves.
Yeah.
So, but when you met, what was the vibe? What was you thinking?
I was trash at basketball, so yeah, I was the one messing up the drills. They were like, yo, what's going on?
Fair enough.
I wasn't too far like behind that.
Oh, so you man were both not good.
or not as good as you are now, I'd say. Yeah, not as good as you are now, literally.
Nah, I hear that. That's calm. So what, you moved out, did you man separate, or was you man still tight?
I mean, I still messaged him here and there, like still reached out, but obviously because basketball was the main place we would link up. It was like,
Oh, okay.
I didn't really see him outside of that.
Nah, I hear that.
Yeah.
So how'd you man end up in the same uni then? Was that just coincidence?
Literally,
Has
yeah.
to be.
I can't lie, for me, it was clear. You know when you check the Instagram, you see who's going. I was like, yo, Darren's going.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, okay, cool. That's cool.
I didn't go through clearing, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was my insurance.
What's insurance? Is that the one you want to go to?
Nah, the second.
The backup.
Yeah,
What's always the main option?
It was Loughborough still,
Oh, because it's a sports uni.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. So then, so how you man now? Like, why basketball? Why are you not into that?
Ball is life, man. You can go to it when you're down. You can go to it to work hard. You know, it's a great way of meeting people. Like, such a... Nah, there's such
It sounds
a great,
like you're reading
yeah.
like some scripting or you say that.
Nah. It's such a great community in Leicester. Like, you'll meet so many people, like, day ones even from Leicester. You know, so even the players you play, you'll beat them and then you'll become friends with them. That's how it is. Yeah.
No, because I was saying this on a podcast I uploaded, like, or that I've done with someone recently. I don't think basketball's not popular in the UK. Like, people play it, but then also people play cricket or they play tennis. But like
Football.
yeah, football. But even rugby, like they've got rugby stadiums in the UK.
Yeah.
There's Twickenham. I think it's a massive stadium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, it's in certain area. Even I'll be real, I played more rugby in school than I played basketball, kind of thing.
Yeah, this guy.
But every school has got like a basketball court. Every community center's got a basketball court. But
Yeah.
I don't feel like people don't really in the UK. Basketball's just not it.
It's true.
Why though? Like, what do you man think?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one to answer. Like, yeah, it just doesn't have as much exposure as you know bigger sports do.
Fair enough.
So,
But yeah, that's cool. But then, fair enough. But in America, you take it's a completely different thing, innit?
100%.
They be playing balls
Like,
with
yeah.
like 3-year-olds playing
Yeah.
basketball.
Eat, sleep.
Yeah.
So who do you guys watch?
What team wise?
Yeah.
Oh, Golden State Warriors, best team in the world. Steph Curry is the best player of all time.
Really? Are you man just gassing?
Bro,
Speaking
Steph
for
Curry is one of the best players in the world. his teams.
No, but you said he's the best player in the world.
Yeah, he clears Jordan. He clears LeBron.
I don't know.
If it weren't for injuries, there would be no discussion.
I don't think people will like allow that kind of disrespect on King James.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I don't watch basketball, but I know it's between LeBron James and Michael Jordan about who's the GOAT. And I think apparently
You don't think you're forgetting nobody. No.
there's apparently man tried to look into basketball at one point in time, and I didn't do no research, by the way. I just tried, but back in the day, man would look into basketball. There was a guy called Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Yeah.
and he was known for the skyhook.
Exactly, yeah.
So he used to bang 2-pointers all the time, and he was the most highest scoring basketball player of all times until one guy called LeBron James lapped him, and he's still LeBron James is still playing, by the way.
Yeah, still
And
cooking him.
I even saw it was a meme back in the day on IG when LeBron James officially got the highest points. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in the stands looking at him like he wanted to kill him.
Yeah, he was.
So his one record in basketball has been surpassed by.
Yeah. I'll tell you one funny story about Kareem as well.
Okay.
When he first joined the league, there was someone that was seen as the GOAT back then, Wilt Chamberlin, right?
I've heard of this guy. Yeah.
And back then, he was like, they were with one fan, and then the fan asked Wilt Chamberlain, "How's the weather up there?" And then he spat down at him, and he was like, "It's raining."
Really?
It's crazy.
Why would he do that?
These players back then, they were crazy.
They didn't care,
They
bro.
were crazy.
That's crazy.
Imagine
So
spitting
tough.
a 7-foot guy spitting down at
Say
some
the truth.
not even 6-foot person.
Fucking hell.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Dog.
Well, did he get like any type of sanction for that or anything?
Back then, it's crazy.
Don't let it slide.
Did the racist mob not even say anything about?
Wilt did whatever he wanted to do.
That's crazy. That's insane. What the hell? But okay, you've said that story now. I've seen this thing about Michael Jordan. So apparently there was a guy in the NBA. He used to be 5'3", and he was dropping points like he wasn't doing a mad thing, but he was dropping like 15, 20 points a game. Like he was contributing, kind of thing. And there was all these man. There was I don't think it's as tall as it is now. But like there was still 6'5", 6'6" people running around the NBA, couple maybe 7'1"ers, like. But there was tall people there, innit?
One of my favorite players, Muggsy Bogues. That's
Yeah.
him.
So one moment,
Is he not like 5'7"?
I heard he was 5'3".
Earl Boykins, I think, was 5'7". I might be wrong.
But one,
They were like, back then height was...
Yeah, it didn't really. Yeah.
I mean, but if you're in a sport with like the average height is maybe 6'4", 6'5",
You'll stand out.
and you're 5 something, like
course.
you're not even 5'11", you're 5 something, then it will stand out. But what I've heard now is he's come in front of Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan says, "Shoot, midget." And apparently, someone told me this is a lie in it, but this is what I heard. From then, he was crushed. He couldn't even do 2-3 points a game.
No, you
Struggling.
are. That's what people do say. They say after that game, like his points dropped and stuff. But maybe it's not over that game. Like you said, he's small in a league of really big players.
But if he was dropping 20, 30 points,
Yeah, but maybe it's hard to continue that as a small player because you have to be the best of the best at that height. If you're going to be different, you have to be the best. And he did that, and he has a good legacy, but it might have been tough over a long period of time. Yeah.
but nah, yeah. And there's even worse and worse like stories that I've even heard of in basketball. But it's big, like the meme culture. I feel like it's gotten over here, especially with like these LeBron James memes that be going around. The one of him in the gym, and I think he brushes his hair, and it goes into an edit. There's so many ones of him like, people be like, I can make one up now. It'll be like, when I was failing the whole year, but then I lock in and make an academic comeback, and it's LeBron James like emoing or some shit. Like the one with him doing the dust thing.
Oh, his
That's-
pre-game ritual.
Yeah, that's so it's the culture of basketball's come over here.
Exactly, yeah.
But I still feel as a sport in the UK it's not.
Yeah.
But what you guys think?
No, it's definitely still growing. Like, I feel like by the time I got out of sixth form, it was definitely like it was on its way up. Do you get?
Yeah.
So,
But speaking to the mic.
my bad. But yeah, like it's on its way up. Obviously, it's still not as big as football. Right?
I don't think that will ever happen though.
Yeah, probably not. But it's definitely growing here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, a lot of people are caring a lot more about it than they did before.
So you said you Golden State Warriors, but isn't the Lakers like the team to LA Lakers? Is not. Don't they have? Is it the Metrodome or something? Their stadium.
I'm so bad with stadiums. They might do.
They have
And that's-
Staples Center.
That's another thing that that I was saying to people as well, or to even the guy that was on the previous podcast. Everyone knows like in football, Etihad, Anfield, Old Trafford.
That's true.
Like you should just Stamford Bridge. You should just know that. That should be your bread and butter. But I feel like even basic things people wouldn't understand that here.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, what were you saying like so?
Oh, my favorite team is the Boston Celtics. I think Boston Celtics all the way.
You lot are gonna have to educate me on that. Like, who are they doing bits or what? Because I would have thought it was the Lakers though.
Well, I mean, we've just come off a championship run.
Okay.
So we won the last playoff title, but we're currently struggling to the New York Knicks. We're down 2-1 in the series. So
In this, what's the series?
the playoff series.
Oh, okay. Is it like American football where they got like the East Conference and the West Conference?
Yeah.
And then whoever wins those two leagues goes into the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So who won the last playoffs?
We did. My
Yeah.
team.
Bastard.
The Bolton
Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics. Okay, Fez. And then who'd you support?
Golden State Warriors.
Well, who's in there?
Steph Curry. We got Draymond Green.
How old is that? I swear, is he not like nearing retirement age?
He's been in his prime. He's been in his prime. I would say he plays like a 20-year-old. One of the
Really?
best shooters. I think he's 36 now, so he's getting
Okay,
up
that's
there.
not even that bad though.
Yeah.
I've heard this take. Yeah. Apparently, the 3-pointer ruined basketball.
Oh,
Why do people say that?
what's your thoughts?
As in, do I agree or disagree?
Do you agree, disagree, or but educate me as a layman? Why do people say the 3-pointer ruined basketball?
Well, I guess it wasn't like that before. So I feel like it took people some time to adapt to it. Adapting to another, like a further back range to shoot from. People in the olden times were used to layouts mid-range, prioritizing those. But the third line comes in, it's like you got to, like everything's just, you have to do it at a higher level. You can get yourself open quicker.
Right.
You can set your feet quicker.
Okay. But then,
Yeah.
because I know that's what Steph Curry is known for. Like, he can shoot a 3-pointer from any
Exactly.
angle and just score.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get onto. Like guys like Steph Curry, Buddy Hield, can do that at a high level, and so it's not really a problem for them. So in that sense, it's not necessarily the worst invention.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But did the 3-pointer not always exist, or?
Nah.
Yeah, they didn't
No,
have it.
yeah, it wasn't always a thing.
So when did it come about?
Maybe Josh will know this. So I don't know when exactly.
I might
But-
be wrong. It might be.
But no, but like surely, so it's existed for a minute.
Yeah.
But at some point, that's what I'm saying. At some point, like it's always existed, but at some point, maybe I don't know if it was when Steph Curry came along, but the take is that people
Yeah.
just suddenly started just bursting,
Yeah,
and then people like Steph Curry just be like, "Yo,
Curry really changed the game. Now, like Darren said, to come into this league, you have to be able to do everything. But also, sometimes some might argue, like you said, the way it's changed the game might be a bad thing because people might be forcing 3-point shots. Timberwolves this week, they've shot the playoff lowest in 3-point shot percentage.
Yeah.
And they have some of the best 3-point shooters in the league, but they're still shooting the lowest in this series. And maybe it's because they're forcing shots. Sometimes the defense can adapt to that, and maybe they could just drive in and take an easier route. But now they want to settle for more points. But is more always the better option? That is the question.
Bro, are you trying to be like a commentator?
Yeah,
It's the way that you just had that out, like
That way, like that's great. Yeah, that's literally
Stephen A.
right
Smith.
to say.
that's crazy. Okay, you keep bringing up Stephen A. Smith. What do you like about my man?
Oh man, He is a very interesting man. He'll come up with some crazy takes, a bit like me. Maybe me and Stephen A are very similar. Come up with some crazy takes. He might hate LeBron a bit. I don't do that. I know LeBron's like the GOAT.
I saw you just said somebody else was the GOAT.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
You know what? Can we retract it from the... Yeah. But nah, Stephen A, yeah, he's a funny commentator. And you sometimes need that in sports, like the jokers, like... In football, Arsenal fan TV, you need the jokers. It brings entertainment. That's what you need.
Okay, I've heard. Is that recording, by the way? Just thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, just long things. This thing's long in it. But I've heard Stephen A. Smith got famous off of bullying one basketball player. It was one guy that he used to just take shots at constantly. Do you know who I'm on about?
If it's not LeBron, it might be.
It weren't LeBron. It was somebody else that he was trashing for years.
You know what team he played for?
I don't even, because man's phone is there. Man would have looked it up, but
I feel like it's Donovan Mitchell.
I think you're right still.
Donovan Mitchell still.
But so he been trashing him for years. He go to high schools and run his mouth about him. He go on a comedy show, run his mouth about him. Random conversation we having, and he bring up his name and trash him. So what do you think about that? Do you still look up to a guy if he's kind of trashing a guy and that's building up his career?
You are right, to be fair. It's a bit hard. Some people say it's all love. Even in boxing, it's entertainment. Sometimes they go after them and be like, it's all jokes and stuff. We'll never know if it's like that with Stephen A. Smith. But he might just low-key be clueless. I'll be real. The guy's not right. But yeah, it is tough to see when they get a bit too personal. Yeah.
But cool. Staying on Stephen A. Smith, I saw this thing recently. Yeah, LeBron James has a son, I think called Bronny.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So LeBron James is 6'8", right?
Yeah, 6'9".
Something like. So he's pretty tall.
Tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his position anyway? Is he shooting guard or something?
Wow, LeBron could play
Everywhere, bro. He's
played
playing
everywhere.
He even playing everywhere.
1 through 5.
Yeah.
Whatever.
1 through 5, Lakers and 5.
I've heard that still. Bro, that's from Sharp. What's his name?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, innit?
Yeah.
But he was an American football player, but cool.
Yeah.
He's got a son, Bronny. So apparently, Bronny's only 6'3", which is not even that great for basketball. So what I understand is to be 6'3". Let me even lower this a little bit. But from what I understand in basketball is to be 6'3". Hold on, maybe I'm tripping. What I understand about basketball is to be 6'3" in the position that Bronny plays, you need to be excellent at certain, I don't know if it's stealing or some aspect of the game. To be his height, he needs to be excellent, and apparently he's mid. So Stephen Smith was going at him saying, yo, nepotism, you just got him onto a thing, and he's been saying it for a minute, he's only here because of his father. Apparently LeBron James signed a contract extension with the Lakers on the premise that Bronny would get on the team or something like that. But he ended up moving to another team a while after anyway. Yeah. So, cool. Stephen A. Smith was saying this for a minute. At some point, LeBron James gets alone time with Stephen A. Smith, and he really sticks it on him.
Yeah.
He really yo, keep your mouth quiet about my son.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith is there just almost like he's trembling in fear. Let me not exaggerate, but it's he couldn't really back himself. He didn't want to say, I'm a commentator, you got your son, and he didn't want to back anything in it. He just kind of kept on. What do you man think about that?
I mean, if a 6'9" man jacked, if I happen to be talking about his son in the wrong way, I'll take a step back respectfully. Do you know what I mean?
Really
stay out of the way.
So you man think that? Do you think he was getting excessive on his son?
Stephen A. got pressed, yeah. He got pressed differently. Basically, he is right, because I think with a lot of hype around his son and LeBron will come a lot of hate. On TikTok, they might post, Bronny took a shot and it's him missing it. They'll just use him for clout. Stephen A. sometimes might give positives, but Bronny, because of all that pressure, he hasn't played too well. He's a first-year player, so he's not going to play too well, but he's also LeBron's son. So then seeing them bad games, some commentators, if you play a bad game, you're going to be talking about in the worst way. So they're talking about Bronny, especially with the fame. And it is a bit tough, but LeBron, he had to press him. That's his son. As much as it is his teammate, it's his son. You don't want to hear that about your teammate all the time because it will bring them down.
He had to press
Yeah.
him.
He
That's
had to.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had to.
I'm pretty sure like it got to a point.
Yeah.
You know. it
That's
was just
insane.
He had to
Yeah.
sort him out.
I don't know because man, I don't watch it, but so I just see the reviews off of people like DJ Academics and different kind of people that speak on it. But your job as a commentator is to speak on what's going on in the sport and give your review and give your opinion. It's got to be like factual, but you also got to give your opinion because that's your job as the commentator, innit? And Stephen A. Smith is not like someone that got hired from his CV. He's got a bit of like clout or motion and the CV as well, but he's been hired because he speaks his mind. That's what brings viewership towards the thing. So I don't think it's fair that if it was one of his teammates, I don't think LeBron would be doing that. But it's not because it's his son that he's kind of sticking it on Stephen A.
I think it also became a family fit. Like sometimes, I think the one time like LeBron went to him about it was he first went about LeBron having a bad game, and then he brought Bronny into the equation.
Oh, is it?
So it's like you can't come for the whole family. And it's like,
That's true.
like,
That's true. Yeah.
Fair enough.
What's that Fast and Furious guy say about family? Like, is it family matters?
Dominic Torres.
Yeah. What does he say?
I don't. I know the family meme, but I don't know exactly what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Nah, fair enough. But cool. But then he's got his thing with Shannon Sharp. But like I said, I don't watch the basketball, but I sort of watch the things around it. So I know about Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and all the men there. But cool. Speaking of people like getting like kind of spoken on, I know you man are into basketball. You man watch football, so you know about like Real Madrid situation. So cool. Looking at their manager currently. Why am I forgetting his name even?
Carlo Ancelotti.
Carlo Ancelotti. Now, somebody said this. Carlo Ancelotti is one of the most decorated members of football, managers, players. Especially even as a manager, he's one of the most decorated. I think he's got the most Champions Leagues out of anyone. He might not have the most league titles, but he's got a couple league titles across different teams, different time periods. So, but they said in La Liga, if Real Madrid has a bad result, the media will speak in a press conference in front of him. They'll speak about Carlo Ancelotti like he's never managed a team in his life, kind of thing.
He what's it called? He's recently, they're saying he's leaving at the end of the season. And the thing is, he was doing so well this season. Like, he's got Ballon d'Or candidates from last year and this year in his team. The team's still doing well. Yes, they got Barcelona, so they might come second. They got knocked, but as soon as they got knocked out the Champions League, it's like, oh, we need a new what's it called? A new manager. It's a bit like career mode. As soon as you don't win the title after 15 years, they'll just kick you out for no reason. You can't lose. That's the problem. He's at the highest level. Like, you can't come second, which is so tough.
And I think the past 6 Champions Leagues that Real Madrid has won, he's won 3 of them. And the person who won the other 3, it was his disciple that won them.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
he's been in the game.
and they're still talking about my man like he's a twat.
Yeah,
like he's just a fool.
I'm so happy that, I mean, it's still not confirmed, but he might be going Brazil, to manage Brazil. And the good thing is, World Cup's coming up. He's got that Ballon d'Or side that he's not, some of those players he's managed now for a couple of years.
Yeah, like Vinny.
Once he brings that into the World Cup, bro, that's going to be cinema. I will be there.
In fact, bro, I've been seeing this one meme lately, speaking about the World Cup.
Yeah.
There's this thing going around, it's like, the fact that we have, the World Cup, GTA 6, and something else just lined up.
All together.
Yeah. So, kind of looking like next year is going to be...
We will be eating
We
next
lit, man. Yeah, we lit, bro. We lit.
Have you man seen the GTA 6 memes?
Oh, yeah.
That's great. I'm even thinking to buy a PS5 just
talk
for...
about get your GoPros
just for the
ready.
release. Yeah.
All your editing stuff.
And you know
It's
what?
not ready.
I'm hearing the stock of the company that owns Rockstar is even going up just because the
Of the
trailer.
hype around it.
And in fact, you was talking about gambling. I've seen somebody, it was a meme on IG. Somebody put a bet on the trailer, the second trailer for GTA 6 getting 80 million views within 24 hours. It got like 90 million views within that 24 hours or something.
Crazy.
And that
Parlays on
person,
trailers.
they put in like 8 bags. They got 100 bags off of that.
Nuts.
That's crazy. Like, you deep how crazy that is.
Yeah.
So, Nah, yeah. But speaking of, you brought up parlays. What is this betting situation that? Chat to me, bro.
Parlays.
Yeah, that's not even any of me. Like, I don't get involved in that stuff.
I don't gamble, but I advise people if they already gonna make a bet, I will advise them. You know, I think when I give advice, you know, it's gonna hit. So it's more like not gambling. It's more a financial investment. You feel me? Like if my friend put in a bet I told him 2 days ago with the NBA, we would have been living.
What was the bet? What was the bet?
It was Draymond Green, 4 rebounds. I said under 5. They thought I was crazy. I said exactly 4 to them. I said exactly 4. Got 4. I said he was gonna put Ant getting 30 points. I was like, nah. The thing is, like I said to you, like the 3-point shooting is down right now, and I thought Warriors were gonna press him, right? So I said Ant will go for a 20, but they'll still get the dub. He got exactly 20.
Wow.
I said Buddy Hield, Curry's out, so he's gonna have to step into the, like they say on their team, they have the whole Batman Robin thing. They say, he's gonna be the best. I said he'll step into that Robin role. I said he'll go for 10 plus points. He scored 15. And then I said he was about to go for, I think, 25 for a guy called Jimmy Butler. Now, that should be a good game. That should be what he said. But I said Jimmy Butler 15, and he scored 17. All of those would have hit. I'm telling you, I don't miss. I don't bet myself because...
But did it actually hit, though?
He didn't put them through.
No, but all those things that you said, did that actually happen?
Yeah, it all happened.
It all happened.
Could have been living, bro. It could have been
How
eating
much,
Nando's.
if he put, like, what was you telling him to put in? What was you telling him to put in? And I don't endorse gambling, by the way, at all.
He was telling him to put stuff in, but...
Like, how much? Like...
I don't know the amount. I wasn't telling him to... I was just saying hypothetical. I think that's
okay,
what's going to happen.
But chat to me. I want to know, like, financially, what we talking. If he put in a certain, like, let's say put in 3 bills into all these parlays collectively.
I don't know what the returns would be, but from what those stats were saying, he could have made a decent return, I would say.
What's a decent return for people that don't gamble?
I'm not too sure. I don't gamble either. I would say maybe 100. From what I know, maybe 100, 200. Is that right?
I don't think you're too far off. Yeah, it's like...
That ain't a lot.
Yeah, it's like it's not a high difference between it.
Oh, but I would have thought like you put in like, I don't know, £100 you can make a bag or something.
It depends what kind of bet maybe. I don't know.
And you also got to consider we're actually uni students, so
yeah.
I've heard, but no,
where's that bread coming from?
You're saying,
yeah, bro, we were cooked, bro.
You're saying uni students, but I've heard in the past like gambling GCs in this uni.
Oh yeah,
where like people are giving in like signals and telling people, and money's being made.
Champions League last year, my friend put down $1,000. I think he made like 3K.
Swear.
And one of them didn't hit, but because the other ones were like, one was a game. It was. I think you can tie bets together. So he did a Champions League one, but he also did some African League one as well. And because of the risk with the African League one, it bumped it up. So I think that's why. But
is it?
It was crazy. He was betting on an African League one.
But how does that work? Do you put in whatever bet you want?
Yeah, it could be crazy.
But like, as in, do I jump on the app and be like, I don't know, Real Madrid get 3 yellow cards and they score 7 goals? Like, you can just type in whatever bet you want.
It's mental.
Yeah. Swear. Yeah. Did somebody approve it or like?
I think there's already set ones. Like I don't know, a person shooting under, and they'll do it for basically every player. Like I don't know if it's talking about football. I don't know, defenders might have shots. Them taking shots on target under or more, and you wouldn't think that defenders would shoot. So then you might get a higher odds. I think that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can't risk that.
But cool. Gamble. I know you man have stories about people that lost bread.
Not even, you know.
Huh?
Not even.
Nah, listen, there's no need to cat. You don't need to say names.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me, what's the worst you've had or seen?
I literally don't know. Like they don't talk to me about that part of it. Do you get? Bro, I promise.
Crying.
Yeah, exactly. You'll know exactly. You'll see the next day. If it went right or if it went left. Like,
yo, did you watch the game yesterday? He's like, don't
talk to me, bro. Whole day.
Fair enough.
Literally.
So why don't you guys dip your feet into that if there's bread potentially to be made?
I feel like I'm Christian, right? And I feel like in the Bible, like
Yeah.
gambling is not
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
as
yeah.
like casting lots, gambling.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think it's seen as really a
Okay,
thing we should be doing.
yeah.
But I feel like sometimes in life, you know, we take the risk with everything. Everything's a gamble. Not saying gambling that way, but it's crazy. Like I feel like sometimes in life you could be doing I don't know stuff like FIFA. Some people start off with buying FIFA points and opening packs.
Yeah.
Then they can go to gambling. Like a lot of things can lead on to another.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
So do you believe? Oh, so would you believe in like say weed is a gateway drug?
Weed. Ooh. I think personally, like from what personal experience, it can be, to be fair, stuff like that. Even for some people, it can be even stuff like smoking. But, you know, that's just a personal thing. It doesn't happen to everyone. You know, people can get out. It doesn't affect everyone as much. It can be just a recreational drug for some people. But for others, it can really affect lives. Like, it's happened like, close to me.
Cool, because you're saying you think like things that might be legal or might not necessarily be, let's say they're in a grey area in terms of morality. So like gambling, maybe smoking or what. But you're saying you think they can lead to certain things which get even worse and worse.
Yeah. Because I think people don't really realize, like, sometimes in your brain you really want to keep doing something, and you could lose control. Like sometimes an example could be FIFA points, but then if someone did that with weed, just kept going because it makes them feel good, and then also they don't know the negatives of doing that, then they might lose control. Sometimes a bit like I would say, I know it's not the same, but I play basketball, right? And I've got an injury, and because nothing was getting sorted at some points, I'll just keep playing because I love the game. I love the feel, you know, being around people. It makes me happy. But the negative sides, sometimes you can't, like, it's hard to not ignore them because you're feeling so good about the positives. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's one thing you even mentioned to me, bro. You've got your shoulder keeps popping out, like it's getting dislocated.
I've hit the unk status. So last
crazy,
week,
bro.
I was in I had 2 courseworks due that day. So in the morning, I was just in the bathroom, just got up, just went like this, and then it came out.
The guy yawned,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
guy yawned.
I came library later, so that was the first time it came out. I went to the library, went seminar room with the guys, just doing maths. Just went back, yawn. I don't even know if I can yawn anymore.
Are you saying your shoulder dislocated twice because you yawned?
Yeah, bro.
The guy
The
yawned.
voice, sorry. I just normally, like, you know, instinctively you might yawn. Just went. I was just like, nah. Like, it's come out. It's gone a bit worse now. Like one time, I just 3 a.m. I would say that was the worst, but like I was around people so I could calm myself down and kind of but it's really painful. The worst time I would say is in my Uniacom, 3 a.m. just sleeping, just turn around, gone. I was screaming, like I was stuck in that position. I was screaming, yelling. I had the iPad right next to me. It's 3 a.m. yeah, so no one's up. I try to call on the Snap group chat, Slack group chat. No one responds. I'm screaming. The walls, no one can hear me. Like
Even them thin walls.
yeah. You know what? I think my flatmate was on the game, but because of headphones in it,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't.
too locked in.
I was screaming. I had to roll myself off the bed onto the floor, and then I had to wait until it got back in. It rolled back in, but when it dislocates, I get so dizzy. Like I lose energy. I feel so dizzy everywhere. So I was walking. I had to I was stumbling to the kitchen. Everything was like fuzzy. I got an apple that was on the table. I put my head under the sink, got some water. I was on the ground eating an apple for like 10, 20 minutes to get my energy up. Like my head was gone. And I never want to experience that again because that was like when I realized that this thing is like...
Sorry to hear that, bro. So why? Like what? What was the first dislocation?
Yeah, last year I played a uni called DMU, and I was defending, and then a player ran into my shoulder, and it went. And in December, I went to my family, and I was like, I didn't want to tell them because they'll be like, no, you're playing basketball and you're injured. Don't play. And I kind of said I might need to see a doctor, but I didn't get round to it. And it kept happening in games, but then it would roll back in. Like when it would happen, it would just roll back in, fine. But then the more times it happened, the longer it took to roll back in. And then eventually it became a thing where the lightest of things could cause it to happen. Like me yawning randomly, random movements. Like even I went back home over Easter. I just did 10 laps on my park. And like I just felt like sometimes random aches, like as if it's about to come out. And that's just running, like just running. You'd never know when it's going to come out. And that's a tough thing about it. So it's been tough.
Sorry to even hear that, bro. That sounds like hell. You're all waking up in the middle of the night with some kind of ridiculous pain.
Yeah.
That sounds like. So what's the doctor's like? Is there nothing you can?
So
surely there's a surgery for that.
Yeah. So start of the year, I was supposed to get a surgery. Went into the surgery. Went under anesthetic. I woke up. I was like, yo. I got it. And they were like, I'm sorry, you didn't get it. I was like, what? And then she was like, oh, the doctor's left. I was like, what? And they don't know where the doctor's gone. I'm like, what's going on? And then my parents come. And they're like, oh, Josh. And then they're like, he didn't get it. And then I'm like, what's going on? I'm crying. I'm like, what's going on? And then they're like, a week later, I think the doctor was in a different country, right?
What?
Or something like that. He flew out quick time. But then I found out... it was worse than they thought. That's why I didn't get that surgery.
But why did he leave?
I don't know. I woke up, I was confused. I was hungry, I had some toast. But I was just like, ain't no way. But he had to go somewhere. But they said my shoulder was worse than they thought. So I needed a tougher surgery called Latigay. But
what was they trying to give you to begin with?
Keyhole. So
keyhole to do what?
I think it's like to hold it kind of in place, so to put a key between it.
Oh, okay. And now you need Latigay.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a bit. I think they take a bit of bone from maybe the hip or something,
and then insert it into the part where the dislocations are.
So what's your issue? Or your tendons? Why does it keep popping out?
Basically because of the labrum, which is the muscle around it. It's unstable, so it keeps rubbing. And the rubbing keeps rubbing against the humeral head of the bone, like the big bone. So it's numbing it down, and I've lost a third of that apparently.
Really?
So that's why it keeps like more prone to dislocations. And they said I need the Latigay, but he said maybe come back in like 6 months. And then we'll rethink maybe if you need to be a bit older or something, because it's a big surgery.
Really?
But the only problem is, it's Easter now. I haven't heard back from them. I'm like, what's going on? So I emailed them, and I'm just like, and my family's like, oh, you should get it after 30. I ain't even doing these dislocations after 30. Ain't no way. I want to play basketball. I want to be healthy.
Even like that aside, like if you're waking up in the middle of the night,
exactly,
screaming.
I'm not doing that for another 30. Ain't no way. I'm not doing them 365 days. So I emailed them, and then they contact my parents, and they were like, "Oh, you were off the books." I'm like, "What?"
Really?
And it's because apparently they were trying to contact me. No, they thought they were contacting me, but they weren't.
Who were they contacting?
I have no clue. My parents didn't get any notifications. I didn't. But maybe it's an error on their side. But they said they'll see me at the end of the month. This month. Yeah. So.
Wait, but you're an adult. Why are they contacting your parents?
Yeah, because it's back in London, so sometimes I'm not there. So sometimes
still they can email or call you. Or
that is very true. So we have to see how that works. They were before. That's the odd thing about it. That's why this off the books thing is slightly weird, you know. Because I was getting them calls. You're calling me up. What it is? Calling me up.
What you're saying to me is just mad. Like you're about to get a surgery.
Yeah.
They put you under for the surgery.
Yeah.
You wake up. You think you had the surgery.
I'm in a sling.
The doctor's just gone. Where's the doctor going? A week later, he's in another country.
So crazy.
That sounds like fraud.
Yeah.
That sounds like they defrauded you.
You've been scammed, bro. That's crazy. That's so nuts.
Could have taken some sort of organ as well.
That's how I'll be concerned about. Like they harvest your shoulder for somebody else.
That's what I'm saying. It's feeling a little bit weird after that. I wasn't getting too many.
Maybe that's what I'm saying, bro. You wasn't getting that many dislocations.
Yeah, literally. What?
sounded like some get out situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my.
What country was this guy in?
Oh, he was English, right? And yeah, but there wasn't too much paper. Even before that, they were kind of like, oh, like he doesn't write too much notes, right? I was like, yo, I'm getting the surgery. Yeah, I'm getting the surgery.
I think you've been
I'm
frauded,
getting the
bro.
surgery. Let me just.
Yo, that guy's not. He's not a real doctor. Not a real doctor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
No notes, no nothing.
No paperwork to prove
That's
anything,
crazy.
Stop, man. But
That's insane.
That's mad. I ain't never heard that before.
it was a tough year, like not playing with my boy Darren. The
Of
other
course,
guys,
of course. He definitely would have been first team, like. Bro, I promise you. If this dislocation didn't happen, bro, he'd be first team. I promise.
But okay, go on. Tell me about that then. Like, how did you end up becoming head of the basketball side? And you're not first team. I would have just imagined anyone who's headed the side would have been the highest ranking person.
Yeah.
I would have said like, bro, I beat so many people to the vote. I'll live it, but literally, no one else went for it. But,
Really?
but you know, we had such an amazing president the year before, Doman, and my coach, like, who was both were third year, so there was Doman and Jaden. And they helped me so much with my first year. Like, I would say, like, I was quite a nervous guy, you know, I was overthinking a lot. But they really helped me. They were like, you know, be yourself. They gave me like, you know, they gave me the keys to play on the court, but then also be confident off the court. And the plans they had, like, you know, it's stuff that I thought was really good for the uni. So I just tried to live on their kind of legacy. Yeah, I don't think I did as well as them, but you know, they were really good, and I just wanted to make as many opportunities to play, not for me, but also like as the basketball community. Like, I think a good thing we got this year was we got some training tops sorted. Yeah, I spoke to a supplier, a really nice supplier, got them sorted, and yeah, they're half the price of the uni ones. What? Yeah. But it was a bit tough because we can't sell them anymore because they don't use the uni brands.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Team Leicester had a bit of an issue with.
Yeah. So it's a bit
Why
tough.
couldn't they put on the uni brand?
Because they got the Cuckery agreement, right? And
They got what?
Cuckery is the like
Different
Adidas,
supplier.
supplier, yeah. So it's a bit tough, but I feel like the people that do have those ones, they like them. I think they look like decent. Would you say they look alright?
The ones you made, they're
So
dope,
basically,
man.
you're getting stuck in bureaucratic paperwork hell.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Fair enough. But okay, what is it that you did or that the previous presidents did that like that you think was so good that you wanted to continue that legacy kind of thing?
I think it was like basketball. Like a big word around basketball is family, right? And I feel like a lot of I know that sounds crazy.
it's true. Yeah,
It's the way all the teams were connected. We all got along. The women's team, the men's teams, like we all gelled, like we're good friends. And I just wanted to kind of keep that, make opportunities outside of sport to get to know them. And I feel like I've got to know like some really amazing people in the basketball, like really helped me, always checking up on me. Like I hope that I try to continue that as much as I could. I got a lot of help on the committee. The committee like helped a lot, like with that, like just keeping it like good, like us getting along.
So you're the new president now.
yeah, I am.
Wait, so I wanted to like get this straight in there because you said you wanted to speak about this. You got to second team, but you didn't get to first team.
Yeah.
But you still managed to get president because no one else ran.
Do you know what's so crazy? I was gonna do it, bro. I literally remember, bro. I was literally gonna do it. I remember in the huddle with all my teammates and the president at the time. They were all telling me like, bro, just do it, go and do it. And I just shied away. Everyone was calling me.
Aura, man.
It's too much, yeah.
Fair enough. But then calm. Would you have been calm, like, because that's your boy, like,
Of course.
You stepping his back,
Bro, what? Are you serious? Like,
taking his position.
100%. Like, this is what I live for.
Nah, it's
I live for.
Bro's just talking about family now.
Sorry.
Oh, okay,
Listen.
okay.
He betrays family, man.
Nah, but like if I was at the time, I would do the same thing I'm doing now, like which is asking him for advice and guidance along the way. Yeah, it's just so that the ride is smooth sailing for me as well.
So he can have an honorary position whilst you officially are president.
100%. Yeah, he's literally like, bro. He's my what do we call it? He's my assistant director, bro.
Interesting.
He's my assistant director.
So what made you even want to run for president of the Basketball Society?
I think pretty much what Josh was adding on to, trying to keep up that community feeling within Leicester. And then, like back to, when we're talking about football and rugby being like more dominant sports in the UK, like I can, because I used to play football before I was playing basketball. I was playing in goal, but I was still doing.
Was it one of them ones where like, oh, your shit they slapped in goal?
Chill.
That's how it is.
Chill. I was willingly playing. No. I was willingly playing. Like, I actually enjoy playing in that position. Do you get? And I can see how it's translated into basketball. Hand-eye coordination. Do you get? So, I played till like year 8, and I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. What else can I do? Picked it up, started playing some more.
Fair enough.
Throughout secondary, sixth form, and like from then till now, I can see how much it's done for me. Do you get? And how much it's taught me to be resilient, and be determined to push through anything, like injuries, and losses. Do you get? So, I think it's just trying to keep up that, that togetherness feeling and showing everybody how the game's impacted my life. You get?
No, I get you.
Yeah, literally.
I get you. Fair enough. Cool. Then even on that note, what's next for like? Wait, have you always been first team?
Nah, I was second in my first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're on the first team.
Yeah, now I'm the first team.
How did you? Is there stiff competition? Like, how did you get to that point?
You mean through like tryouts and everything?
Or however it works. To be fair, I don't even know.
I mean, when I asked the guys, obviously because I watched the first team from last year, when I asked them, they were like, "Nah, you didn't even need to try out." To be fair,
is it
like you would have been calm? You get because I was a familiar face.
Oh, on some nepotism.
Exactly, slightly, but yeah. Yeah, I still attended the tryout. I did end up injuring myself. Really? As a matter of fact, yeah, I did.
What kind of injury are we talking?
I had a what was it again? It was a groin strain.
Okay,
yeah,
nothing crazy though.
Nah, it wasn't crazy, but at the time, I'm not gonna lie, it felt I'm
not even an athlete, so I maybe it's not right for me to say it was a crazy injury, but I would have thought like Saka went out on a hamstring thing for a little bit.
Yeah,
but the big one's always like
just stopped his toe. He exaggerates everything.
But I think the big one's like when you tear your ACL.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people get finished on.
Yeah, it can cook you like.
Wow. Yeah. But you got a groin strain.
A groin strain, yeah.
What is that exactly?
So, okay, maybe I should start with like how it even happened. I was dribbling the ball down the court. And I see a drive, like I see a lane where I can, drive to the basket. Exactly, a straight line drive. One of the older first year guys that I know as well he stepped into the lane, so he's in my path of driving. And so I lose the ball. I think he hits his knee or something. So I go and run to go and get it back, and then my left leg slides forward all the way, and I do like a split.
Really?
Yeah, literally.
That's
I do
crazy.
A split trying to catch it, and yeah, I just hear I heard some loud snapping noise up round the hamstring side. Yeah,
that don't sound
like a groin strain, did it? That's what I'm saying.
That don't sound like nice or comfortable or anything.
It felt like way worse than like the description of it.
Yeah, that sounds like a mad thing.
Yeah, I can't lie. I was shouting, bro.
How long was you out for that?
It was like first two weeks of the season.
How do you walk? Like, surely you struggle to walk.
Yeah, 100. It was obviously it was limping, but I didn't want to put pressure on it because I could feel where the pain was on that side. So I'd be like, it'd be half up, half down kind of.
I get you.
Type thing.
I get you. Fair enough. But okay, like I was gonna ask then, what is the future for Basketball Society? Because your first team now, the big event is like when you play another uni kind of thing.
Yeah, varsity.
Yeah, so
varsity basketball. Everything like slightly is up to that. At least for us, for Leicester and DMU. Yeah, obviously, the twos and the threes, unfortunately, weren't successful. I think we were the only ones that won, out of any of the teams. But
in fact, I've even heard UL in terms of RC always kind of washes.
Yeah, for the most part, I can't lie, we
I'm hearing like 20-1 or something.
Yeah, bro, we sweep them in everything.
And most importantly, you guys win in first team
100
basketball, which is the main
100
all the time.
I think, yeah.
What I've even seen, I'm not even gassing it. It looks like a struggle at the start. Like it really looks like a struggle, but like a Real Madrid thing, somehow you managed to pull it
100.
out in the end, and that's what really matters, isn't it?
But what I don't understand is like why it takes us that long. Do you get? Why do we have to go? We have to wait so deep into the game before we wake up and say like, let's not lose this game, man. Do you get? Like, I don't know.
I heard that.
I could be biased and say it's because I didn't start, but I won't do that.
Fair enough. But that's calm, innit? Anything you lot want to ask me?
So, welcome to Podcast Joe Shifty.
This guy, bro.
Tell me, what brought you onto this? Like, how did you start podcasting? Or what was your first podcast?
My first podcast was an interesting one, actually. It was basically, I was thinking about it for a while, so I was doing mad research because I'm a very talkative guy. I'm an extrovert. I love meeting people. I love talking. Like, I'd speak to people on the train, random people. I'd even chat to a homeless man. Like, I just like talking and meeting people. So cool now. Through some sequence of events, I've went to see one of my boys and one of his boys, which are mutual friends. So I know him, but he's not my boy. So us three. And they introduced me to this girl that I've seen maybe once or twice in my whole time being at uni. But cool, they introduced her to me. And the four of us are just bossing mad convo. Well, more time they're bossing convo. Because them three are closer friends than I am to this girl. Innit? Yeah. But I'm hearing what's being said. I'm kind of at the start listening, just listening. And then I chime in because it was a deep conversation about like mental health, counselling, trauma, different bits. So I think I even just asked, I was a bit forward. I was like, so what happened that made you have to go counselling and ting? And then we was just chopping it up. And then in that moment, I just said, yo, you man, I want to start a podcast. Yeah. At the time, I wanted them man to sort of be a part of it, or at least one of them, my boy, to sort of come, but that never came. But the first guest was that girl, that thing. So, and then from there, it's not, I've not been as consistent, like I said, as I should have, and I've got ridiculous ambitions on the Joe Shifty podcast, innit? But,
you know how it is.
But so that's just how it started. And hopefully it was just a matter of running it up. I always tell my brethren, a couple of close people around me, Joe Rogan got a deal from Spotify for 100 million. And this was an exclusivity deal. So he was doing this thing on YouTube and he was popping. He was already popping. They offered this guy 100 mil, said all your full episodes upload onto Spotify alone and then have your clips or whatever. And they gave him 100 mil to do that. Recently, maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, after that deal expired, Spotify now offers him a $250 million deal. And this isn't even exclusivity anymore, type of thing. This is just to continue the thing with Spotify. And now he's uploading back to uploads on YouTube. And so I think podcasts taking over radio and the internet is the new media of today. Like in terms of, so we're talking, the way people used to sit and watch TV, the internet is the new thing, innit? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like one thing one guy said is, anyone who's trying to do something on social media, a lot of it, you might not be proud of it in some amount of time. Say it's skits or people that maybe done something weird like OnlyFans, or they might have been saying like weird, like just to try to go viral, or you're being racist or anti-Semitic or whatever, cool. One guy on a podcast said, like, a podcast is like some mature thing that you can sort of do. Yeah. And this is, like I said, the name of it, other than what you got going on.
Yeah. Magnum
Opus is Latin for your greatest piece of literary theatrical work. It's your masterpiece. Exactly, yeah. So this has to be something that Like, it's not going to be perfect. The run-up's not going to be amazing. There's mad technical difficulties. It's mad unprofessional at times. It's a joke thing at times. Even
course.
some uploads I should really delete because I shouldn't want nonsense
Just
representing.
uphold.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As the quality and
Opus.
professionalism and, you know what I'm saying, the standard. But it will at least be something that man can say I was proud of that thing, innit?
100.
Go on.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I think it's good as well. Like, I think for her as maybe the first on a podcast, like she was able to maybe talk about her feelings a bit more. Some stuff maybe she might not have been able to speak about. Would you say your podcast is a way of people like maybe being able to talk about stuff they might not have been able to talk about before?
I think so. What it is, I told people as well, I never tried to put a box on it.
Yeah.
So people ask what kind of podcast is it? I just say it's a podcast and then we talk about anything.
Yeah.
And
Very open.
literally anything in it. I want to start getting professional people on. I want to start getting people that know about political stuff, financial stuff, like they can tell you about the world, about history, about love, about psychology, and then still have friends on to just chat. I've always wanted to have people to talk about football, like maybe Champions League thing here and there. That's why I'm happy we done this. Spoke about basketball for a bit. I want to bring someone on to talk about anime as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
100.
honestly, it's one of them ones, isn't it? Just gotta see where it takes us and put the best into it. Type thing. But on that note, we'll probably cut here. 56 minutes is good enough.
Damn.
What,
Have
you
one
tryna-
more.
Go on, chime in.
Yeah,
Let's,
one.
yeah.
How do you feel about, everyone making podcasts about, the same topics, like going about over the same topics?
As in what?
As in, you should pay on the first day, all of this.
I think, do
all
you know
that
what it
stuff.
is? It's not. I don't even think it's the same topics. I feel like the fact that and what's weird is typically when I see that stuff, it's from like 40-year-old, 50-year-old people
Fair.
that have, like that particular example you gave.
Yeah.
I see a lot of that. There's one I watch. I don't want to shoot any shots in it. Because I've actually started watching this podcast as well.
Fair.
So maybe not.
Yeah, keep it anonymous. Keep it anonymous. Yeah, keep it anonymous.
But when I see that, it's from people whose beards are greying. Yeah, men who've never been
Crazy,
married,
crazy,
men who've
crazy.
never been married, women who've never been married. Nah, seriously, they're talking like they're still in school.
Yeah.
They don't have any children or anything. That's what I find, like you're still having the same conversation, and it's almost like, cause have you had a back chat?
Yeah.
Do you remember back chat
chat
back in the day? Like, let's say like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, where it was semi-mature, semi-joke, innit?
Yeah.
Let's say 60% joke, 40% mature.
100.
When they was mature about certain things, like when they really spoke about certain things, like I really found it engaging, interesting. And obviously you gotta have a laugh sometimes. Of
course.
Everything don't have to be
Of course.
academic and boring, but you can easily point to clips where, why are you 30 and you're saying something like, oh, there's a famous one like, oh, if my man performs a certain act.
Yeah,
on
I
me,
think I've seen
like,
that one.
how can you come out and be saying like, do you know what I'm saying?
At that age, still.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Which is
So even say podcasts about
Still.
people having stuff, I think it's okay, but it's like you might not speaking about anything that hasn't been spoken about
Yeah,
to
already.
death already in it.
100.
But even so, people say there's no such thing as an original, that idea, and at this point, people have done everything. Like the idea you had, best believe, even in the whole world, there might be 100 other people that same idea or that same talking point, that same conversation. So I think it also depends what you bring to it that's different or how you do it, but it's whatever in it. But cool. On that note, I